Good morning. Welcome back to the farm. I'm Laura. Come spend the day with me. Oh, Pepper's saying good morning as well. We've had a few days off because we've gotten over 6 inches of rain in the last 10 days, which is crazy because we've been in a drought. So we haven't been able to plant. The conditions have been too muddy, but it's been really windy. The sun's been shining. It's been warm. As you can see, I'm in a tank top, not in my usual sweatshirt. And so today, finally, we can get back in the field, get back to planting. And instead of planting corn, today we are going to be planting soybeans. Time to dust this thing off and get back to work. Tractor is started. Now we had the planter unfolded because we switched the corn plates in each row unit over to the soybean plates. So we have to fold them up in order to actually get out of the shop. And there's a pigeon trying to get in right now. If you remember at the end of the last video, we had a problem. A hydraulic fitting on one of the cylinders that lifts our wings up actually got loose. And so luckily we didn't have to replace anything. We just tightened it up and we're all good to go. But at the end of this season, the planter is going to need a good wash. It's dirty. Now it is time to load the planter with seed. Pepper's doing her investigating. She's not so sure about the planter. We made good use of our downtime, switching the planter over to soybeans, but on the tractor, we cleaned out all the air filters, changed the oil, greased the planter, and we greased the whole tractor. We have a familiar face backing the seed tender out. It's been a while since he's been on camera. But today, and also probably every single day for the foreseeable future, we have Gage here. Gage has very recently graduated high school. How does it feel?
It kind of just feels like a long weekend. I'm like not even a week out and I'm already getting my days mixed up. So, but I don't know. I've been wanting to graduate for a while. Not just to get out of high school, but I just like working.
Welcome to the real world.
To the real world. I have to pay taxes now. Or in a couple of days anyways.
Here we go. So Gage can no longer be referred to as the high school kid. So we got to think of another name to call him. I guess if he's going to be sticking around, you guys all need to get to know him as Gage. So welcome aboard, Gage, officially.
Hey, yeah, it's been a while. It's been, what is it, almost a year and a half?
Gage has been working for us for quite some time now, so he's finally getting the ins and outs. But this is the first official summer, so we're happy to have him aboard the team. I know you guys like him just as much as we do. So yesterday, Grant drove into town and got this thing completely filled up with soybeans. Both compartments are full. So now we're going to use this and fill the planter. Gotten a lot of comments asking why we don't just use the JLG to lift up a pallet of seed and put it right in. And that's because our soybeans don't come in pro boxes. We actually go to a facility and pick them up. So they load them directly into this trailer, which is really handy. Then we can use our trailer, which is mobile, and load them directly into the planter. So the seed tender makes things a lot easier on us. And this Unreferth one pretty much uses all of the latest and greatest technology and is very, very efficient. So watch us load the planter with our Unreferth seed tender. The planter has been completely cleaned out since we planted corn, meaning that there is no kernels of corn in here, no seeds left. We are completely cleaned out and ready to put soybeans in. We're getting there. All right, both tanks are full. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, Unlock it, and we can move it back to its transport position. I can put these lids back on. So this is never a good sign.
Yeah.
Have the owner's manual out and we haven't even pulled out of the yard yet. The air compressor that stays in our tractor year round, we never take it out. Grant, flip the switch.
Oh. Well, it's not going to work because it's not plugged in. But you plug it into this little power strip over here, but there's no power to this power strip. I've had this problem before. The fuse. Oh, here's the fuse thing. Anyway, I was looking for this thing in the owner's manual, but as you can see, this owner manual is huge for a tractor. Like, compare it to your car's owner's manual.
There's a lot to read in there. Tons of information, but this is what we were looking for.
Yeah.
We're trying to find the fuse to see if it's blown because
It's one of these convenience ones.
we need that air compressor to run our planter. Just going to be doing a little bit of redneck engineering here. Battery. Air compressor works.
So it does work.
Which I guess that proves that the brain isn't fried in that thing for some reason. We just don't have power to that strip there. What do you say? I vote we use that battery to get enough air in the system and then just head out to the field. What do you think, Grant?
Probably. I'm just concerned about the other thing that's plugged in there and what it does. It's like, I'm not sure.
Grant just plugged it back in and it's working totally fine.
Well, I plugged it into a different one, so.
Well, maybe it's just that one outlet that's bad. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's working and don't even have to use that battery. You just need to use that battery to get it jump started a little bit. We planted just enough to know what we need to adjust because we're switching a lot of things. Instead of planting corn, we're planting soybeans. And instead of planting onto ground that was disked and then strip tilled, we are planting onto ground that has been ridge tilled. And so all of this has been root sliced, but because of all that rain we got, I feel like the trash kind of went back into the row. And so we need to adjust these row cleaners. We had them up super high because we were on that strip tilled ground, but we need to move them down just a little bit because of our soil conditions, and we can brush organic material off of where we're actually planting, and we can get the seed at the appropriate depth. We plant soybeans anywhere from 1 inch to 1.5 inches in the ground. And so once we adjust these row cleaners, we're going to get out in the spots that we just planted and dig around, find our seeds, and check that everything is going well. If you remember from when we started going through our planter, when we first brought it in the shot this spring, we made some adjustments to these row cleaners. We kind of need new ones because we have to make these adjustments with 2 different ratchets. Most of them are 15/16, but some of them have these tops where you make the adjustments have fallen off, and we had to weld on bolts. Actually, about 3 of them are held on with vice grips. So, a couple different things needed to make some adjustments. Always be careful not to hit your head. You just turn this, and down they go. Just gonna move it down about 1/4 inch.
How far do you think we should go down?
Maybe like 1/4 inch?
1/4 inch?
Yeah. Little tweaks for big peaks, or something like that. Grant is underneath dealing with the vice grips. How's it going under there?
What's that? Hanging out.
Just hanging around, huh? All right, Grant, how do you check for seed? What are the secrets?
I started digging.
Down on your hands and knees, and you can kind of see the trench. Use a trowel, and it's got little inch markings on the side, and you just look for the neon pink. Look at this, Grant, I've already found some.
Oh, there we go. Found some too. And then you try to leave them where they were in the dirt. Don't pick them out. And then you use your trowel to measure. Look at that, 1.25 inches.
What population are we planting these at, Grant?
145,000
145,000 what?
seeds per acre.
So there are many, many seeds to be found in this trench.
That's like about 1 dog food bag worth of seed per acre.
Corn we plant at a much lower population. Plant that at like 32 to 34,000 seeds per acre. Look at all these little neon pink seeds.
Look at all the worms.
So because of that rain that we got, it's dry on top because of how windy and sunny it is. But if you dig down just a ½ inch, you're seeing a lot more of a moisture profile than we had before those rains.
I got a row here that's a little shallow. I think I'm gonna go deepen it up. It's like 3/4 of an inch.
Okay. I'm gonna dig around a little bit more.
Yeah.
Chief is a family-owned, Nebraska-based company comprised of 7 diverse brands. Chief, trusted, tested, true.
Since we don't apply any starter fertilizer that would usually be stored in these yellow tanks when we plant soybeans, we don't have to worry about our SurePoint screen being up on here. We're just running our auto steer off of this monitor. And then this one, we're watching our hydraulics. And then same thing as corn, we're monitoring our seed placement right here and here. And the singulation isn't as important because we're planting at such a high population. People like to say you kind of got to try hard to mess up soybeans. In theory, you could just scatter them out there and disc them into the ground. It's definitely not as much of a science as planting corn is. All right, folks, we're gonna see how Gage is at filming out of the cab shots. Grant has been practicing for years on how to do this.
I'm a professional.
Good job, Gage. Not just a farmhand, he films videos too. All right, Gage, you ready to take over?
I think I'm prepared.
Do you feel nervous?
No, not really. I ran a little bit last year, which kind of helps, but not as much as you.
Well, here we go. This is a good field to learn on. We'll be right across the road if you need any help. This is probably what my dad felt like when he let me drive the tractor by myself for the first time. I taught Gage, and I'm slowly realizing that eventually you just need to let go of the reins, trust that you taught them to do everything correctly, know that they'll call you if they need anything. I think he's gonna do a good job. Day 2 of planting soybeans, and we have 2 tractors going in the same field. We are closing the gap on this one. Rain has actually been added into the forecast this weekend, so it is all hands on deck to get these soybeans in the ground as fast as we can. Today in the tractor cab is especially nice because we are on mile-long rows on some of the flattest ground that we farm. And so just with one pass, just starting one into the field and going all the way down, I can knock out a little over 6.5 acres. folding up, getting the dust off. So we are done with this half section of soybeans. It's time to move on to the next field. That was 315 acres. I could not be more excited to have Gage around as a more consistent face on the farm and on the channel. So please give him a warm welcome. He's excited to be here and he has just as much to learn as I do and as you do. So thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, please subscribe to see more and we will see you in the next one. Until then, bye. Pepper, come say bye.